Hi Reed, hi Finn. Today we're going to talk about airplanes. And airplanes are really important to us because my father, who is your mother's grandfather, who is your great-grandfather, designed airplanes. They call that an aeronautical engineer. And he always loved airplanes, and he would go running outside every time he'd see one and look up into the sky to see one. In fact, he loved airplanes so much that he drew paintings of them. And this is a painting that he drew, or painted, sorry. You can see the airplane flying through the sky. It's a beautiful painting, isn't it? So, what we need is a story about airplanes. So let's see what we have. Angela's Airplane. By Robert Munsch. Angela's father took her to the airport, but when they got there, a terrible thing happened. Angela's father got lost. Angela looked under airplanes and on top of airplanes and beside airplanes, but she couldn't find him anyplace. So Angela decided to look inside an airplane. She saw one with an open door and climbed up the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right up to the top. Her father was not in there, and neither was anyone else. Angela had never been in an airplane before. In the front there was a seat that had lots of buttons all around it. Angela loved to push buttons, so she walked up to the front and sat down on the seat and said to herself, "It's okay if I push just one button. Don't you think it's okay if I push just one button?" "Oh yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." So she slowly pushed the red button. Right away the door closed. Angela said, "It's okay if I push just one more button. Don't you think it's okay if I push just one more button?" Reed, what do you think? "Oh yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." Slowly she pushed the yellow button. Right away the lights came on. Angela said, "It's okay if I push just one more button. Finn, don't you think it's okay if I push just one more button?" "Yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." She pushed the green button. Right away the motor came on. Angela said, "Yikes!" I pushed all the buttons at once, and the airplane took off and went right up into the air. When Angela looked out the window, she saw that she was very high in the sky. She didn't know how to get down. The only thing to do was to push one more button. So she slowly pushed the black button. It was the radio button. A voice came on the radio and said, "Bring back that airplane, you thief!" Angela said, "My name is Angela. I'm 5 years old and I don't know how to fly airplanes." "Oh dear," said the voice. "What a mess. Listen very carefully, Angela. Take the steering wheel and turn it to the left. Angela turned the wheel, and very slowly the airplane went in a big circle and came right back over the airport. "Okay," said the voice. "Now pull back on the wheel." Angela pulled back on the wheel and the airplane slowly went down to the runway. It hit once and bounced. It hit again and bounced. Then one wing scraped the ground. Right away the whole plane snapped and broke into little pieces. Angela was left sitting on the ground, and she didn't even have a scratch. All sorts of cars and trucks came speeding out of the terminal. There were police cars, ambulances, fire trucks, and all sorts of people came running. But in front of everybody was Angela's father. He picked her up and said, "Angela, are you all right?" "Yes," said Angela. "Oh, Angela," he said, "the airplane is not all right. It's in very small pieces." "I know," said Angela. "It was a mistake." "Well, Angela," said her father, "promise me you will never, ever, ever fly another airplane." "I promise," said Angela. "Are you sure?" said her father. Angela said very proudly and loudly, "I promise, I promise, I promise." Well, Angela didn't fly an airplane for a very long time. But when she grew up, she didn't become a doctor. She didn't become a truck driver. She didn't become a secretary. She didn't become a mining engineer. She didn't become a nurse. She became an airline pilot. That's great. So the next time you guys are in Ottawa, I'm going to take you to a special museum that has nothing in it but airplanes. Old airplanes, new airplanes, huge airplanes, little airplanes. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye, guys.